Hey there, thanks for tuning in to Duck Bricks. I'm Chris, and welcome to an exciting, breaking LEGO news video, where I bring the latest LEGO news to you right now. So the topic for this video is that just now, the LEGO Ninjago Summer 2023 set list has been purportedly revealed. Now, initially I wasn't even going to report on this because it originates from an Instagram account that I personally had not heard of before, and the set names are also very strange. However, it was recently reposted by incredibly reliable LEGO leaker FalconFan, and while these set names are still very much just rumors that should be taken with a massive grain of salt, FalconFan usually has not been wrong, and if they believe these to be true, that does lend a lot of credence to them. And so, without further ado, here we go. So here's the recap on what's going on in Ninjago's Summer 2023. Obviously, this past year they basically concluded this current storyline for the Ninjago show. They basically stated that they would be doing a brand new show in the summer of 2023 after January's core wave, which is not going to be a reboot, so it's not going to be redoing the story, but presumably it was going to focus on different characters and be in a different time period. Now, initially I was a little bit confused in terms of looking at these leaks because unfortunately, you can still see the names of a lot of the old ninja there. You can see Kai, Nia, Lloyd, and Zane. Specifically, they do not mention Jay and Cole by name, but if you've got 4 out of the 6, I would be willing to bet that all 6 of them are going to feature in some way, shape, or form. Now, the exciting thing is that this does feature a few new names, such as Sora, Raz, and a few other characters which we have not seen before, so presumably this could be a season about passing the baton to a new team of characters. Personally, I was really impressed by what LEGO Friends actually did just this year in 2023, which was completely changing the time period of their storyline, retiring all of the old characters and giving us a brand new set of characters. And given that Friends just celebrated its 10-year anniversary and wanted to do something new, I was really hoping Ninjago would follow suit, and instead give us new storylines based on completely new characters and leave some of the older characters in the past. Having them appear in, say, a mentor form would be totally okay, like a Sensei Wu type of thing, but I'm not really sure how I feel about the massive focus being put on the original characters still for these sets. Then again, these are just rumors, and they could be totally wrong, but let's get into them regardless. First of all, we have a series of Dragon Power Spinjitzu sets. These presumably are the gimmick sets of this wave. 71777 is Kai Dragon Power Tornado Spinjitzu. Now the thing is that all of these names do appear to be translated from a different language, so they definitely are not the finalized names. I bet there's a lot of mistakes in them. For instance, Mecha is spelled wrong in all of them, and there's a lot of punctuation and grammar mistakes in them, but I presume that this is just because they have been translated pretty poorly. Then again, so this is probably going to be a $10 set. It accompanies 71778 Nia Dragon Power Drifting Spinjitzu, as well as 71779 Lloyd Dragon Power Spinjitzu Cyclone. Now what's interesting to me is that Dragon Power implies that these minifigures are going to be at least somewhat similar to the dragon form of the ninja that we got for Crystallized. Notably, we only got these minifigures for the core 4 ninja, Kai, Jay, Cole, and Zane. We did not get one for Nia and Lloyd for story reasons. It would have been really cool, I think, to get these forms for Nia and Lloyd, but I do think they might be something a little bit different, especially because there is a Kai one, and later on the list you're going to see there is a Zane one which integrates into a car as well. So this is a little bit interesting. If I had to imagine, they're probably going to be reusing the dragon form headpieces, those dual molded gold and transparent back pieces, probably in a different color for each of the different ninja. It's kind of annoying how LEGO has stopped giving us Spinjitzu type stuff or gimmick type sets with special suits for every single one of the main characters, that being the main 6 ninja, and really have only been giving it for maybe 3 or 4 for each wave, which means that we get a lot of incomplete suit lineups. Here it seems we're getting Kai and Nia, Lloyd, and Zane, but again, no mention of Jay or Cole, so not really sure what's going on with that, but we do have these gimmick sets. But moving on to the more interesting thing, we have set number 71789. This is Kai and Raz Car and Motorcycle Battle for 103 pieces. This is a 4+ set, so it's kind of a basic juniorized set. Raz, I guess, is going to be a new villain because of the word battle. It could also be the 2 of them on a car and motorcycle fighting some sort of enemy. I don't really know what's going on with this one, but it's interesting to see new names because it's always good to get new characters. If I had to imagine being a 4+ set, it's going to be a really simple kind of car build and motorcycle build, so probably nothing too crazy, very similar to stuff we've gotten in the past, but kind of an entry-level piece to get into Ninjago. Set number 71790 is the Imperium Dragon Slayer Hound for 198 pieces. This appears to be a villain set if some of the later sets are any indication. It seems that the main villain is some sort of an empress, which suggests that this is kind of them fighting against the Imperial forces, which is interesting. For 198 pieces, I would imagine that this is only going to be $10, maybe $15, $20 at most, but it's still cool to get a villain-focused set because we don't get a lot of those nowadays. We usually typically only get a lot of ninja-focused sets, and that is something that I have actually had an issue with Ninjago in recent years, is that they put a lot of focus on the ninja and give them all sorts of vehicles, and the villains maybe get 1 or 2 vehicles, and at most, they'd probably get like a temple or something. So it's cool to get a smaller villain set that seems to be some sort of an opponent. This is completely new territory for Ninjago, so I'm quite curious and excited to see what this sort of smaller set looks like. Kind of reminds me of the Hound part. Again, that could be a translation error, but I'm thinking of stuff like the Fenris Wolf from the LEGO Vikings line or something like that, which would be a really cool Ninjago-like set to integrate in modern building techniques, so we'll see exactly what this looks like. Next up, we have set number 71791, Zane Dragon Power Spinjitzu Competition Sports Car. That is a very long set name. Again, this is just being a translation, so I don't think that's the exact finalized set name, but this comes with 307 pieces. Probably, if I had to guess, we're looking at $20 to $30 here, and this does seem to integrate whatever gimmick the first 3 sets have, so that's kind of a $10 gimmick integrated into a car itself. So sort of similar to what they've done in previous sets, like putting a spinner in some other sets. So I think that makes total sense to have kind of this gimmick integrated set here. And of course, we will have to see exactly how the Dragon Power form is actually showcased in the suits themselves. Although it is, again, kind of disappointing to see just sets focused on the main core ninja. I was really excited when they announced the new show because I was really hoping it would be focused on new characters and really, if anything, just have the older characters in mentor roles. But unfortunately, it does seem like there is a big focus on the older characters as well. So we'll have to see, and again, these are just rumors, but I'm very curious to see how the show turns out. Our first set, which is actually focused on a brand new character, is set number 71792, Sora's Mecha Transformable Racing Bike, for 384 pieces. This is probably going to be a $35 to $40 set based on the piece count, and this is quite exciting because, again, it is focusing on a brand new character. That is always great for Ninjago. I'm guessing this is some sort of a mech that transforms into a bike, which is interesting. They've done a few transforming Ninjago stuff before, but nothing this radical in terms of turning a mech into a bike itself, so I'm very excited to see the feature for this. And again, great to see a focus on a brand new character. I just wish that every single one of these focused on a new character, instead of kind of doing half and half. Having Lloyd and Nia, Kai, and Zane here does take away some of the focus from the new characters, and if they're just switching up the ninja team and say removing Jay and Cole, I don't really know why they would decide to do that rather than do something else. But moving on from that, we have set number 71793, Heatwave Transforming Lava Dragon for 479 pieces. Now, we don't know if Heatwave is a character name, we don't know if it's a poor translation of something else, or is it a villain faction, so I have really no idea what exactly this is. Given that it's a lava dragon, maybe it has something to do with Kai, but I really don't know at this point. This is all the information we have. That being said, a transforming dragon for 479 pieces certainly will be quite interesting. I'm very curious to see exactly how that will turn out, what exactly the dragon will transform into, and hopefully lava suggests that it won't just be a fire dragon and will actually have some sort of more unique kind of molten elements to it. But really, that's all I can say because I have no idea if this is a villain set, if this is a hero set, if it's a new character, who knows. And now with that, we have 3 sets left. Set number 71794, Lloyd and Aaron's Ninja Team Mechs for 764 pieces. Now this is quite interesting because again it does feature a brand new character. This is only technically the second new character who appears to be on the ninja team here, so maybe what they're doing is swapping out Jay and Cole for 2 new ninja. I don't know why they would do that, but it's very strange how they're actually focusing on some older characters and some newer, but this seems to be a 2-pack set, I'm guessing because it's a ninja team mech set, so 764 pieces. I'm guessing that each of those has maybe around 300 pieces, 350 or so, and the rest of it goes to a side build, so should be interesting to see exactly how they accomplish a team-up mech set. Although, I do think it would have been cool to have a mech duel set, kind of like what they did in Possession. Moving on from that, we have the 2 largest sets. And these 2 sets tell us nothing about character names or even villain names because they're fairly generic in terms of what they are. Set number 71796 is the Elemental Dragon versus Empress mechs for 1,038 pieces. So that is a very, very large set for over 1,000 pieces. I'm guessing this is going to have probably a rough even split between a dragon versus some sort of a mech. Now it says Empress mechs, but that could be a translation issue. It could just be one mech if I had to guess. Empress seems to be the main villain for the season, so I'm very excited to see a main female villain for Ninjago, which should be very interesting. We don't get those quite often in the show itself. Now, having a dragon versus a mech battle is a very interesting concept for a set, but again, we just have to see exactly what this looks like and who exactly the elemental dragon belongs to. For all I know, it's maybe Jay or Cole's dragon and they just aren't mentioned by name. And finally, we have an incredibly large set. For 1,739 pieces, this is set number 71797, Ninja Assault Ship Race Against Time. Now this is quite fascinating because it seems to be maybe a new version of the Destiny's Bounty or a new iteration of it, given that it is a ninja assault ship. The subtitle is very interesting because it is a race against time. Obviously, a lot of people have jumped to the Time Twins being the villains for this, and honestly, while I think it would be really cool to see the Time Twins back, I really hope it isn't the Time Twins because I definitely feel that for a new show to establish itself on a new foot, they shouldn't just be reusing older villains from Ninjago. I also, obviously, Hands of Time is my least favorite Ninjago season. I wasn't super impressed with the Time Twins characterization themselves. I'm not super excited to see them back. I know a lot of fans do want to see them back, but I feel like that's only because they're one of the few loose open threads that have been left open from previous Ninjago seasons. I hope that this is a brand new concept. It has nothing to do with the Time Twins, but again, it is a race against time, so maybe we will see Crux and Necrotics back for 1,739 pieces. This is a very large set. It's certainly larger than a lot of the other Destiny's Bounty sets we've gotten in the past, so this should be very, very cool to see. Incredibly excited to see a Ninjago ship at such a large price point, and this will probably be my most anticipated set of the wave. But with that, we've basically taken a look at every single one of these brand new Ninjago sets. I'm super curious to hear your thoughts down below. What do you think of these sets? I'm honestly a little bit disappointed to see such a heavy focus on Lloyd, Kai, Nia, and Zane. I was really hoping they would leave them behind and instead just focus on newer characters. Then again, only the Kai and Nia sets are just gimmick sets, so maybe they don't tie into the story. The only sets that actually feature the older characters that do not appear to be gimmick sets is one featuring a team up with Lloyd, which I would be much happier with if, say, Lloyd was in a sensei form, and he was instead going into battle, kind of like how Sensei Wu goes into battle alongside the ninja, but the focus is on a brand new team of characters. Then again, we only have 2 new names. Presumably we would get maybe newer characters in the Elemental Dragon or Ninja Assault Ship if we're lucky, and we also have a Raz car, but that maybe might be a villain because it's a motorcycle battle. So lots of unknowns here with Ninjago United, as so it's purportedly called. I am very curious to see exactly how this show will turn out, but that's about it for this set list. Do let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of these sets? Do you like them? Do you dislike them? And of course, check back in with Duckbricks to see if these ever turn out to be legit, because I think I am the most dubious about these leaks. Out of a lot of the leaks that we've seen before, these are the most suspicious because they're very, very strange in the way they're set up. But with that, we've summed up this video. Thank you all so much for tuning into Duckbricks. Be sure to like and subscribe for even more LEGO news, reviews, discussion, and analyses coming your way very soon. Thanks so much, and bye for now.